I grew up having pretty strict parents. I mean, strict enough to an extent. Like at a certain age, then the strictness kind of went away, but they were definitely levels to this. Even throughout high school when my friends were like hanging out together and stuff like that, I had to stay home. It was either your friends come to you, you don't go to your friends. And I remember the first time that my mom actually allowed me to go over to my friend's house. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. But like throughout high school, whenever my friends would like hang out at each other's houses, I remember just always having to say no, to the point that my friends just stopped asking me and stopped inviting me. And that hurt so bad because I'm just like, they already know what the answer is going to be, and I know I'm going to have to tell them no, but it's just the matter of like asking, you know. But they're just like, oh, like we knew your mom wouldn't let you, so we didn't even ask. And I was like, dang, that sucks. I remember telling my mom that. Like I remember talking to her and being like, Mom, you never let me hang out with my friends. You never let me go out and go to their houses and do things with them outside of school, to the point that they're not even freaking inviting me to go ahead and hang out anymore because they know you're gonna say no. I remember telling her that, and then like maybe towards junior year of high school, she kind of started easing up, you know, just because I'm 16 years old, I know how to drive, I can go out when I want, as long as I let her know. And I was getting a bit of a taste of freedom, right? I also believe this was around the times that I actually started sneakily going to high school parties, because I would like put on some like baggy sweatshirt and baggy sweatpants, telling my mom that I'm going over to my friend's house, we're having like a little girls' night, and then under those freaking baggy clothes were party clothes, and we would go to like freaking high school parties and do all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, finally I'm living that high school dream life that people see in movies. Like it's about time. Then eventually senior year came, and I was really getting a chance to like actually do things that I wanted to do. My mom was actually letting me go out and stuff like that. I kind of just grew up extremely sheltered, you know. I felt like in a way I had to kind of like lie in order for me to be allowed to do certain things. It was not in a way of my mom not trusting me, but I understand it was her way of protecting me. Because like, you know, as teenagers, you know, they be doing drugs, they be drinking, they be doing all this type of stuff, and my mom was trying to shelter me from that type of stuff. I was just like, man, what's the point? Like a lot of my friends are able to hang out, do all these things. Like every single teenager that I know is allowed to like go out and, you know, go to parties and do all these teenage stuff, except for me. Senior year, I was just really excited that she was able to let loose a little bit and then give me that type of freedom. I told her like, you could trust me, you could trust that I won't be doing no crazy stuff, like, you know, like you raised me right. I just want to go ahead and experience and have fun with my friends before I go to college. And you know, she allowed me to do certain things. Obviously I had to make things sound more chiller than they actually were in order for me to be allowed to go. I guess that's kind of when I kind of like started saying like little white lies about where I was going and what I was doing in order for me to be allowed out the house. And then college came. I'm like 4 hours away from home, and you know, like in college you're surrounded by parties, you're surrounded by other people your age on campus, and you have your car and you can do whatever you want. Because I was so sheltered as a kid and as a teenager growing up, I kind of just was like, oh my gosh, no parents, I'm going to for real let loose this time. My mom would call me at like 11 p.m. I'm at a freaking college party, I'm not answering the phone, put my phone on D&D, I'm just doing all this stuff because I know she's calling me and I know she's like wanting to check up on me just to make sure that I'm safe and stuff. But in my head, I didn't really know how. I wasn't really sure how she would react, but it was just the fact that, you know, she sheltered me so much before that I genuinely thought she was gonna freak out if she saw that I was at a college party or doing this and doing that. So I kind of just avoided answering her phone calls. And I guess little by little, as the years went on, I would slowly like show her like, oh yeah, I'm at this party, I'll call you when I get home. You know, I'm not doing anything crazy. I was doing crazy stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, just slowly like introducing the fact that I am like 19, 20, 21, and I am doing like college girl stuff, but also at the same time she can trust me to not do anything insane. So if the question is if strict parents raise sneaky kids, then I would say yes. And I remember hearing that phrase a lot when I grew up. Like my friends would always be like, oh my gosh, she better let loose because, you know, strict parents raise sneaky kids. And I'm like, man, I don't even think I'm sneaky. But then as the years went on in high school, I was realizing that I was telling all these little lies in order for me to go out and do these things. And I'm like, dang, I guess I am a part of the strict parents raise sneaky kids trope, you know? Because now when I look back at it, like even in college, ignoring her phone calls or acting like I'm in my room when really I'm at some other person's dorm or doing other stuff, not telling her, it was very, very true. And it's not even in the fact of me being a bad girl or like doing the worst things possible. No, it's like me understanding like, okay, these things are bad, I'm not going to touch it, but I just want to be in the environment where my friends are at and have fun and dance and do all sorts of things and hang out with people. But you know, if I were to tell my mom where I was, she would think the worst of the worst. At least that's how I thought she would process things. As I get older, I realized that my mom's a lot more chill. We've had a lot of conversations about like her letting me be able to do things on my own. The summer I turned 21, I was back home during that summer from college, and like I was just telling her like, hey, I do stay out late and I go out with my friends at college, like you should allow me to do that in my hometown. Like I wanted to go to the club with my friends in my hometown during the summer and, you know, hang out with them and do all this type of stuff. So I was going out like a lot, like back to back. And my mom would just like get tired of it. She's like, every single weekend you're always out. And I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not doing anything crazy. Like you have to like trust me that I'm not putting myself in dangerous situations or even dangerous places for anything terrible to happen to me. And she was just so scared. She was just like, you never know, Anita, like anything can happen anywhere. And I'm like, that's true, but like I'm not gonna stay sheltered in my house afraid of the world, you know, for the rest of my life. Like you said, anything can happen anywhere, anytime, any place. You know, the only thing that I can do is just make sure that I'm in a safe environment and I'm not at freaking, you know, clubs that are getting shot up, you know? So I definitely had to have that conversation with her when I was 21 to allow her to be comfortable at the fact that I am gonna be going out and coming home at like 3 a.m. She's just gonna have to get used to that. Even now, like being 23 and living in New York City, I'm not really hiding anything from my mom. We're very like, in a way, because we're on the opposite ends of the freaking country, you know, our relationship has grown because I'm allowed to tell her things without her freaking out because, you know, I moved to freaking New York on my own. So obviously I have some sort of maturity to me. If she's FaceTiming me at 2 a.m. and I'm outside, hey girl, like I'm outside. I'll call you when I get home, promise. You know, we don't share each other's locations and stuff just because I don't feel the need to in a way. But, you know, she will call me at the end of the night just to make sure that I made it home safe. And I will call her to at least make sure that she is aware that I am home and to ease her mind in a way. It's all about coming to an agreement on how we are going to move forward with our relationship without me having to be sneaky. And I don't think I'm sneaky anymore. But, you know, just being more comfortable with telling my mom stuff and us just being able to communicate without her, you know, being scared. And she's also realizing that I'm getting older, and if anything, literally at 17, that lady was lit. But yeah, I definitely do think that strict parents do raise sneaky kids. But then it is a full circle moment because you talk about it, you grow from it, and then you build a better relationship where you guys are able to share things. Just have to be very open with each other. The only reason why I was very open was because I knew that I was grown. It's very valid for me to say, hey, I'm 22 now, like I'm grown. I also lived alone in college and I was able to do all these things in college, like understand that I'm mature and I'm not going to be, you know, affirming them that I'm not out here doing all this hoodlum stuff. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon.